The Diddy trial, shocking celebrity revelations and allegations. Inside the courtroom, Shawn "Diddy" Combs, a man once synonymous with fame, wealth, and influence, is now making headlines for reasons far removed from music or entrepreneurship. For years, Diddy represented the pinnacle of entertainment success. But today, he stands accused of crimes that could dismantle everything he's built, leaving fans and industry insiders in shock and disbelief. Federal agents, courtroom sketches, sealed testimonies, and celebrity whispers. The public is watching closely as this high-profile trial unfolds with intense media coverage and widespread speculation worldwide. This video unpacks who's been named so far, what's been revealed behind closed doors, and how the courtroom is exposing a dark side of celebrity power that most people never see, revealing unsettling truths about privilege and abuse. The charges that changed everything. This case began making noise after Cassie Ventura, Diddy's longtime ex-girlfriend and former artist, filed a shocking lawsuit alleging over a decade of abuse, coercion, and control. But that was only the beginning. Federal prosecutors now allege that Diddy operated a network involving sex trafficking, racketeering, drug distribution, and unlawful surveillance. They claim this wasn't just about private relationships gone wrong, but a pattern of systematic abuse, carefully shielded by wealth, fame, and loyal staff. Diddy's legal team has pushed back hard, calling the accusations false, opportunistic, and defamatory. But the case has escalated far beyond a civil suit. Today, the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and the FBI are all involved, with a sealed witness list, multiple cooperating victims, and a 9-person defense team trying to hold the line. Behind the glamour, what the court is hearing, prosecutors are painting a very different image of Diddy, one that contrasts sharply with his public brand. Inside court documents, they describe freak-offs, orchestrated sessions that involve paid escorts, recording devices, designer drugs, and sometimes, according to testimony, physical force. Former employees have testified that their roles extended beyond business. Some were allegedly told to arrange transportation for young women, book hotel suites, and even clean up rooms after these sessions ended. It wasn't a party, it was a machine. Everything had a purpose. The lighting, the music, the vibe, all curated for one person's satisfaction. Cassie's Testimony, the centerpiece of the case. The most intense spotlight has been on Cassie Ventura. She spent days on the stand, recounting the evolution of her relationship with Diddy, beginning at age 19 when she signed to Bad Boy Records, full of hopes and dreams. She described how she was drawn in by charm, promises, and proximity to stardom. But soon, she says, the control began in subtle, suffocating ways that escalated over time, deeply affecting her mental and emotional well-being. From choosing who she could work with, to limiting her social circle, to allegedly recording her during intimate moments without her consent, Cassie's testimony outlines a gradual tightening of control that left her feeling isolated, trapped, and powerless. She spoke about being physically assaulted, having her phones monitored, and being required to participate in sessions with hired escorts, all under the pretense of love, protection, and power, painting a harrowing picture of manipulation. Celebrities named what it really means. In one portion of her testimony, Cassie described her 21st birthday celebration in Las Vegas. There, she shared her first kiss with Diddy, surrounded by guests like Britney Spears and Dallas Austin, iconic figures in the music industry. These were not people she knew personally, she clarified. They were brought by Diddy to create an atmosphere of exclusivity and status. This part of the testimony has sparked public curiosity. Were these celebrities involved in the crimes? The answer so far is no. Cassie made no allegations against them. Their presence in the story reflects Diddy's influence, not their participation in any wrongdoing, but their names show how deep and intertwined Diddy's celebrity network was, and how it was used strategically to impress, isolate, and manipulate those within his circle for control. Why these celebrity mentions matter. The prosecution is using these details to establish a pattern that Diddy leveraged his celebrity connections not just for status, but for psychological advantage over vulnerable individuals. Being surrounded by global icons gave victims the impression that they were part of something exclusive, something that couldn't be questioned or challenged without risking everything. In that environment, saying no might have meant losing a career, being blacklisted, or even being harmed, making compliance a survival mechanism rather than choice. And that's critical in proving coercion, one of the key legal pillars of sex trafficking and racketeering charges, showing abuse of power over individuals. Who else has testified? Aside from Cassie, the courtroom heard from Dawn Richard, a former member of Danity Kane and collaborator in Diddy Dirty Money. Her testimony didn't focus on sex crimes, but rather on career control and suppression. She stated that she recorded multiple albums under Diddy's direction, but they were never released, representing lost artistic opportunities and economic control. She spoke about a lack of autonomy, power imbalances, and emotional manipulation, themes that support Cassie's broader narrative of entrapment and loss of agency over one's life and career. Dawn's testimony shows that the issues weren't limited to romantic partners. The prosecution wants the court to see a pattern of power being used across both personal and professional relationships, suggesting a broader culture of control. What the defense is arguing, Diddy's legal team has been aggressive in court. Their position, that every act was consensual, that Cassie is manipulating public sympathy, and that other witnesses are either bitter former employees or opportunists seeking financial gain. They've claimed that Cassie only came forward after years of silence to gain money, attention, and damage Diddy's reputation by fabricating stories for personal benefit. They've attempted to discredit her emotionally, suggesting that past mental health struggles and contradictions in her timeline weaken her reliability as a witness. But prosecutors argue that trauma doesn't always follow a clean narrative. They claim that gaps or inconsistencies are exactly what long-term abuse looks like: confusion, fear, self-blame, and isolation. The bigger picture, what's at stake? This trial isn't just about Diddy as an individual. It's about what happens when power goes unchecked in the entertainment industry, an environment ripe for exploitation and secrecy. If the allegations are proven, it could trigger a cultural and legal reckoning, with ripple effects across labels, managers, and inner circles that have long operated with little accountability. It may also inspire more victims to come forward, victims who previously felt too small, too scared, or too dependent on their abusers to speak up and seek justice. For now, more subpoenas may follow. Surveillance footage is reportedly being reviewed carefully by investigators. Financial records are under intense scrutiny, and the public is still waiting to see whether the case ends in conviction or collapse. Will more celebrities be dragged in? If new victims or witnesses come forward, more celebrity names could be mentioned, not necessarily as participants, but as individuals who were present, informed, or connected indirectly. Already, the court has issued multiple sealed orders to protect sensitive testimonies and preserve the integrity of ongoing investigations. That means some testimonies are happening behind closed doors, and the public may not know until the trial ends who said what or who might be implicated next. Legal analysts believe that some artists, producers, or assistants might be called not for prosecution, but to provide context. What did they witness? What did they hear? Did they see signs of wrongdoing? The culture of silence. Even if some people knew something was wrong, they may not have spoken out due to fear or loyalty. Why? Because in industries built on image and access, calling out abuse can cost you everything. Your contracts, your endorsements, your relationships, even your safety and career. That's part of what makes this case so explosive. It's not just about what happened in private. It's about the public system that allowed it to continue for years, protected by silence and complicity. This is bigger than one man. What's happening inside that courtroom is more than a trial. It's a rare unmasking of how power, fame, and silence can work together, creating environments where abuse isn't just possible, it's protected. Whether or not Diddy is convicted, this trial is exposing the culture of celebrity immunity, and it's forcing the world to ask uncomfortable questions. How do we hold icons accountable? How many more stories remain buried? And who's next? If you want to stay updated on this trial, see more behind-the-scenes analysis, or follow similar celebrity courtroom stories as they unfold. Make sure to like this video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for deep dive updates, because this isn't just gossip, it's a shift in how we view power, and this story is still unfolding.